Hi, Gemini. Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. This is your January 2025 tarot reading. If you haven't already taken a look at those December readings, please do. They are full of information that are actually going to be impacting January. And those career readings I did in December were for mid-December through mid-January. So lots going on, Gemini. Let's go week by week through the month. I have all of the dates below. This is a big month with Mars still retrograde, moving back into Cancer. The nodes of the moon will move into Pisces and Virgo, out of Aries and Libra. We also have Lunar New Year, the beginning of the Lunar New Year. This will be the year of the snake, as well as the sun is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. This is going to be big energy that we haven't felt before, as well as Mercury is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius as well. And Uranus moves direct in Taurus by the end of the month. So take a look at the description box below for all those important dates, and let's go week by week, Gemini. So you start off that first week, Knight of Pentacles, as well as the Page of Pentacles. So in reverse. So interesting energy there with the two court cards, something possibly dealing with your finances. Second week of the month finds you with the Six of Swords in the reverse, as well as the Sun card. Leo energy here. That could be that Mars in Leo, who then moves into Cancer by the 6th of January. Three of Swords in reverse, as well as the Empress, another major arcana in reverse. And the last week finds you, the last week of the month finds you with the World card. What I was getting ready to say is quite a few signs are getting this World card. And I think this has to do with it being the beginning of a new calendar year and trying to end cycles, trying to figure out where your goals are. So pay attention with that World card, major arcana, and Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, let's see where you left out of 2024, Gemini. Spirit, if you can send my Geminis a card. Ooh, okay, let's do that better. Spirit, if you can send my Geminis a card representing the energy that they bring out of 2024 and come into this new year, January. Look at that. You have the Empress card in the reverse. So you actually have this card twice, here and in the third week of the month. So Spirit is trying to tell you, Gemini, there's been something you've been trying to birth into creation, possibly over the last few months of 2024. This could have been a new project. This could be something that you are trying to figure out where to start. And you've just been either coming to almost like a roadblock, a mindset block, or many of you all have felt like you didn't have the resources. Possibly this was a business you were trying to get off the ground. Somewhere here you have been dealing with trying to birth a new creation. This could be a baby if you've been trying to have a baby with your spouse, or this also could be something more figuratively like a new project trying to birth into creation. I will say that last month was difficult because there was so much energy of Mercury not moving direct. It didn't start moving direct until the middle of the month. But I do still see here the Three of Swords and Empress. You still have that kind of like harboring energy. So just be careful that you're not letting it take you into the wrong direction. Okay, Gemini, we'll dig deeper into that as we get to that week, but I can definitely see some more like energy that's like rearing its head back by the time you get to the end of January. So let's pull one last oracle message card. Spirit, if you can send my Geminis an oracle message. And you have spiritual strength number 9. So for any of you all who have been just going through a lot of mental anguish, a lot of mental challenges, this is going to be a month where Spirit comes in and helps you through, okay? For many of you all, I do think that this spiritual strength is going to rear its head at a time that you were not expecting. And I do think that you're going to be so appreciative for it once it comes through. And I do think it's interesting to see that you have some energy here of possibly moving away from something that has been possibly intellectually challenging with this Three of Swords, Six of Swords. So let's go week by week, see what other messages comes through as we look at the astrology. Okay, so the first week of January 2nd, Mercury leaves retrograde shadow. So this could be a good time to start working on what kind of goals you would like to achieve, possibly later on in the month, possibly moving into February. Now remember, the real beginning of the astrological year doesn't occur until March. So this still could be a time where you're thinking about what you want to accomplish between now and March, okay? Now, also on the 2nd, we have Venus entering Pisces, as well as Mars retrograde entering Cancer on the 6th. During this time, this page and this night, this is like conflicting information around your money, your job, your resources. This is almost like you are applying for a new job, you get to the first round, but then someone comes back and says, oh, we made a mistake, or you don't have the qualifications we thought to move you to the next round. Something here where you're receiving some information like there's a important thing you need to do in order to receive a raise, but then you later find out that was misinformation. So just be careful with misinformation, or possibly two people conflicting at work. This also could be just you and your resources, like you and your spouse or you and your partner having different views. And I do think by the time you get to Mercury entering Capricorn on the 8th, hopefully some of this clears up a bit. But I do think that there's some kind of money conversations at hand at the beginning of January. And I do think that that is going to be something that kind of spearheads this Six of Swords and the Sun. And I do think with them both in reverse is like you're mentally trying to move away from something, but you're not able to. And I do think that that Cancer full moon on January 13th could highlight somewhere where you've been emotionally drained or mentally spent over something, okay? And I do think that the Sun in Capricorn trining Uranus on Taurus, trining Uranus in Taurus, could be some positive change around your finances around the 13th. So this could be some better news coming in, but I do think that that spiritual strength is going to come in here where you're like ready to move on mentally, but you just haven't been able to quite yet. I do think the Sun entering Aquarius could be very beneficial for you by the time we get to the 19th of the month. But you have so many reversals going on, Gemini, that it feels like you're kind of pushing against the current, if you will. And this Empress card, we already talked about back here where you had last month, possibly trying to get something off the ground and it just hasn't gotten the momentum that you would like. I do like this Three of Swords, though, in reverse, because this means healing. This means you're no longer so stressed out possibly that you were back in December. I do think by time we get to January 27th, when Mercury enters Aquarius, this could be some really good news coming in around groups of people. I do think this Empress card needs to be turning upright. So figure out what it is that you need to do to jumpstart yourself. Possibly this new year, you have a different perspective, or maybe you find out from someone else that you weren't on the right track and now it's time to pivot. Whatever that is, let's turn these Empresses upright. Okay, Gemini, let's get some momentum going so you're not still stressed about whatever it was last year that you couldn't get off the ground. Now we end the year with a big day, January 29th. There's an Aquarius new moon at this time. That's also the Lunar New Year, and it's going to be the year of the snake. We also have the North Node in Pisces and the South Node into Virgo. So remember, we used to have Aries and Libra. We're now moving into the Pisces Virgo axes on that day, as well as Mercury is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Be prepared for some big news coming out. Some type of endings could be occurring in your life. This Queen of Wands could be you, or it could be someone who is of a motherly fixture in your life, but there's somewhere here where you're needing to come to an end, needing to finish a cycle. And I do think that that Mercury conjunct Pluto in Aquarius really could highlight somewhere where conversations, communications with groups of people, you're realizing it's time to close this chapter out. And by the time you move to the 30th, Uranus direct in Taurus on January 30th. So really nice energy to see at the end of the month, that World card, Gemini. I think you're finally coming into a better headspace by the time you end January. And I think this spiritual strength comes in and helps you be able to get over this little rut here that you're having with the Empress in reverse. And that Six of Swords and Three of Swords is like finally moving away from something, but not completely yet. So it's an interesting month for you, Gemini, because you open up with some kind of conflicting information, but you're ending the month feeling a lot better. So I hope this was helpful for you, Gemini. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs in this video series. Like I said, if you haven't checked out those December career readings, make sure you take a look at those too, because I do think you all have some kind of money conversations that trickle into mid-January and then into February. So have a great month, Gemini. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs, and I'll talk to you later.